Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in supporting our community a little bit further, consider becoming a member here in our YouTube channel. Memberships start at just $2 a month and you gain access to some really cool emotes. Lastly, if you are interested in joining our campaign, we'd be more than happy to have you join in on the action and fun. We do have open slots available in this game, in all of our campaigns. You can play in games ranging from level 3 all the way up to level 22 that we have available right now. If you're interested in any of them, be sure to reach out to me. We'll get you set up inside the games and let me know. You can either reach out on Discord, where I am ProDM Joey, or you can reach out through Patreon just by messaging me. You don't even have to subscribe. I think that'll be all my shameless self-promoting. Go ahead and tell us what happened last session, Damson.
Last time, we were coming down from the throes of fighting against were-rats. And our party decided to bring them in to the tavern to try, we only knocked them out. We didn't kill them, most of them. As we were trying to, revive them, figure out what's going on. Why are you trying to attack us? The second we brought them back, they kept calling us heathens and decided to try to attack us again. So we knocked them out, tied them up, and the party split initially as Damson and Kat left to go get our stuff while Stylax, Duke, and Ada went to try and get out of town. Stylax, Duke, and Ada ended up finding a boat and went down the river. Kat and Damson, we just went through the main gate. Honestly, just when you ask nicely, things just go your way. Kat and Damson ended up meeting the rest of the party halfway down the river. It's like, oh, hey, why'd you guys in the boat? Why'd you just walk out the front like we did? And we ended up following after the wolven creature that we saw when fighting the were-rats. We were able to track them down to a point where it seemed that they made a landing, and off on the side of the road, hidden in some bushes, was the person we're looking for. And that person was the pastor's son, who told us the story of how the heathens are him and the other were-folk who did not follow under the pastor, those who did not become rats. After talking to him for a while, we kind of came up to the topic of, well, we can fix this, but do you want your father dead? And he's like, yeah, it's the only way. So we made our way back into town as the son made a distraction. And we waited a minute before sneaking into the church and tried to confront the pastor. The pastor tried to use his conniving words and unassuming appearance to maybe think that, maybe the son's right. Maybe we are crazy, and that maybe it's the son that's bad. But I had a bad feeling about something, so I wanted to use suggestion to get him to tell the truth under his holy church. And that's when the hidden were-rats attacked us, and he transformed shortly after into a giant were-rat. A battle ensued where we ended up killing the were-rats and the pastor, and as Stylax, Duke, and Ada were in the main part of the church, Kat and Damson went to go look for Lila May, who we learned is the pastor's granddaughter. We found her in the back room, hiding underneath the bed, crying as I went to try and soothe her, recalling some more memories in the process. We were eventually able to calm her down before we went off to the steward's house, waking him up, unfortunately, in the middle of the night to kind of explain the situation and show that, yeah, this isn't just some weird fib, as the sun actually transformed in front of the steward, and the steward fell backwards, rightly surprised and terrified, as one should be. And we agreed to stay in the steward's house and meet the Lord in the morning to explain what's going on, to try and, see what's going to happen. Hopefully not get punished. Hopefully.
So, with a sense of noble decorum, Ada and Kat seem to be the only two people fully aware of what is to be expected. What happens when you see a lord. You did forget one key point, Damson.
Oh, I did? My apologies.
Yes, about the absolute law of the Baron.
Right, the absolute law of the Baron, where whatever he says goes. So...
Because he is the noble of this region, it is their custom that whatever he says is law, as if given by divine order. It is the culture and way of this entire civilization.
Yes. Thank you for reminding us of that, Joey.
Yeah. Now, everyone, you are inside of this restful respite. The accommodations of numerous different trinkets and beautiful, beautiful objects is something that makes sleeping here intriguing to many of you. Though, for many more, it is equally uncomfortable looking at all of these different objects from numerous different areas and seeing the collection that has taken place, and yet they sit outside of the realm of making sense for a place such as this. Now, I would like each of you to roll me a wisdom save.
Perfectly average.
We like 20.
17.
10.
2, 3, 4. We're missing someone.
Duke City, be right back.
Oh. Fine then.
Just is this the day after our initial encounter with
No. Same day. This is the evening that you are staying inside of his home.
All right. Yep.
So, not Damson, not Ada. Kat and Stylax. The two of you are slightly uncomfortable here, and you can't quite place your finger on why. And it makes you a little restless during the evening. Not wanting to disturb your allies, you get up and wander outside of the rooms that you've been gloriously given. Kat and Stylax, you were sleeping in the common area. So, Kat, you walk out and you see Stylax seems to be having difficulty sleeping as well.
Isn't it a light sleeping hour for you?
It's just I feel troubled. I don't know why. Let me check on the girl. And I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to where her room is, and I'm going to attempt to crack the door open quietly and just look in on her.
All right, roll me sleight of hand.
And this is that normal. Nope. I make a little bit too much noise, probably.
Not enough to wake up a sleeping child without proficiency in perception.
Cool.
but enough noise that, others hear the of the door. You look in, and she seems to be sleeping fairly well, cuddled up with what appears to be a very small little teddy bear that she possesses.
I'll close the door. Well, Cat, she seems to still be asleep. I worry. I might sleep in there underneath the window or something. Is there a window in that room where she's at?
There is, yes.
Yeah. I might go in there and try to sleep under the window. Just make sure she's safe.
Why are you worried for a child?
Why wouldn't I be?
Wouldn't you not worry about Ada first?
I can take care of myself.
She's sleeping.
You're sleeping. Yeah, you're...
Oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah. You two have no problem sleeping right now.
Well, Miss Ada's an adult, and she can take care of herself.
She is?
Yes. She's no longer a child.
Could have fooled me.
Hmm.
They grin, looking at you. No, we should investigate. I bet you it's probably the butler with the candlestick holder.
Sure. I say, having no idea what you're talking about.
So, are the two of you going to go investigate?
Cat will, yes.
I'll follow you.
Okay. I would like a perception check from both of you.
All right, no bonuses available. Good luck, as it says.
A 13.
15.
The two of you wander around, and there's that main area that you were sleeping in, Stylax. There's the numerous different bedrooms down the hallway. You go down the hall, and where Kat is perusing with curiosity, Stylax, you're checking the security. You're checking the windows. These windows are ones that open, but they open from the inside only, like the push-out kinds. So you're fairly safe on that front. You open up a couple of doors, Kat is peeking inside, and there's this lovely study that you see numerous different books and a couple of maps and intriguing little things for you to snoop through. Stylax, you view the room differently. You start looking at the exit points, the windows, the different aspects of this room, taking into deep consideration of everything that is in here. So, while you're looking through those, Kat, there is one thing in this room that stands out to you very distinctly. You see an ornate mirror pendant sitting on the desk with a magnifying glass looking at it. Like, over top of it, as if somebody was looking at it closely.
Yeah, Cat will just bamf into the seat to just peer straight at it. If Starlax looks, it's like 1 minute there next to him, then woof back into the chair.
The object is a delicate silver pendant, no larger than the palm of the average person, shaped like an intricate sunburst. At its center is a tiny, perfectly polished mirror, its surface still pristine despite its clear age. The design is undeniably elegant, with curling patterns etched around the edges that invoke a sense of regality and craftsmanship. It hangs on a thin chain, long enough to be worn around the neck, but sturdy enough to suggest it was meant to be carried during travel. There's a faint sense of familiarity as you touch this object with your paw, though its origin appears to be unknown to you.
Starlights. I got something over here. A weird pendant. And you never guess what?
What? Let me guess. It belonged to an ancient fairy.
I don't know about that one. But what I can say is I have, I don't know, it smells and feels weird, like, something I know but yet don't know.
Do you... I'm sorry if this question seems a bit strange. Do you often sniff things that you find, or is it just these... You happen to smell things? I'm just curious.
Oh, so everything has its own unique trait and smell to it, and allows me to find it if need be. Like, you have your own smell. Like food. Do you smell your food when you eat it? Before you eat it?
I do.
Because you're looking for poisons or traps, because you never know.
Got you. You don't happen to eat pendants and things, do you? Or...
No. So the sniffing is more like to see who's been using it, touching it. But the familiarity to it, I don't know, because it's not a smell, but a feeling.
Got you. So similar to... you are a predator. That would make sense.
I'm sorry. I looked at the token as you said that phrase and just the... You are a predator. Apex predators, just like dogs.
Yeah, I just made the same connection too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he is a predator. They...
Yeah.
Do I recognize anything about it? Does I'm assuming not.
No, that object doesn't stand out to you. However, there is something else in this room that, now that the mentioning of smells is sitting on the horizon, you sniff and a familiarity draws your attention over towards a shelf.
Sniff and look, and then I start walking over to a shelf, audibly, not really loud, but kind of doing a sniff.
So, you head over to the shelf, and when you get closer to it, you see this compact bronze decanter, tarnished with age, but still gleaming faintly in the minimal light that is coming from the lanterns outside in the halls. Its surface is adorned with minimalistic geometric carvings of clouds and waves, simple yet evocative, as though crafted to represent the balance. Whoa. The balance between air and water. Attached to its neck by a thin chain is a small incense holder, shaped like a lotus flower with delicate petals that curl inward. The incense holder still carries the faint, lingering scent of sandalwood and myrrh. You know those smells very well. When this happens, both of you begin to get headaches that quake and send a shiver down your spine. Kat, you see yourself in the reflection, but your appearance is different. You see yourself standing, tall, armored, a confident presence gazing back at yourself, and You can hear clashing of blades and armament. Then the sensation begins to shift, and there's a phrase that surfaces in your mind, clear as day. I'm going to send that to you in Discord.
Okay.
Stylax, simultaneously, your head begins quaking with this as well as you touch the decanter and incense holder. The memory unfolds in your mind, vivid and serene. You are kneeling in a quiet temple, one you recognize as a sanctuary, a place that you shall not speak of, a place that you shall not guide others to, a place hidden. You see yourself surrounded at this monastery by warrior monks that you feel a parental connection towards. As you see them, you can see these type of decanters hanging from rafters, filling this room with a sense of serene calm that you are having difficulty connecting with, and your mentors can sense that as well. You hear one voice familiar to you. The same voice you heard when you got laid out. And you nearly died just a couple of weeks ago. You hear this phrase spoken by them. As the memory fades, and you can feel the weight of this decanter in your hand.
I'm going to continue to look at the decanter. And I'm going to... I know it's late in the evening, early morning. I'm guessing 3, 4, between 2 and 5, somewhere in there. I'm going to take the decanter and I start walking out of the room. Just all my focus seemed to be there, forgetting about Kat, forgetting about where we are. And I'm going to go sit by... No. In fact, I'm going to go into the room of Lila May. Lily May? Lila May? Whatever her name is. Lila May. And I'm going to go ahead and open it up and sit down. I'll go in, shut the door, and I'm going to sit near the window so that if something comes in the window, it has to step on me or step around me. And I'm just going to focus on the decanter and meditate and try to find calm. I think about the elements. I think about air and water and earth and flame, and just focus on the decanter. And I probably go from a meditation at some point into a sleep.
Okay. Kat. The memory swells up inside of you, and then that phrase is the last thing you are holding on to.
Looking down at just the image and staring back, not blinking just in case to see if it's a mirage or an illusion until the water forms and I blink. Is the image changed?
Yeah, it's just your reflection.
I summon up Viper and points to Dependent. Do you know anything about this item?
They look at it. No, I don't.
Drat. It gave me this headache, and I saw someone in it for a moment, staring back at me. But it wasn't me. I would know because I would hiss at me because I'm a cat.
True. Well, if it gave you a headache, you should probably just leave it be. It's fine.
The Sancted Down is telling me I shouldn't. So I know what I'm gonna do. Cat then takes it and just makes a minor illusion in its place.
That'll be gone in a minute. You do not have malleable illusion. You are not that level or type.
Hey, it was there when I left the room, and there is 2 witnesses, me, myself, and I.
Okay, then. So, you walk back out, and you have this new pendant. Then, you find your way back to Damson's room and easily fall back asleep. Morning rolls around, everyone. You begin stretching, enjoying the niceties of this estate. Ada, for you, this is so incredibly relaxing, so nice. You haven't had a bed like this in... You don't know. But you know you've had a bed like this. Damson, the softness of the paddings they have on the bed were honestly kind of uncomfortable. Something more firm, like a board, would probably be better. You don't know why people sleep on soft things like that.
He probably gets up and just has to crack her back into place. Because it's too soft. Like, oh, that was too soft.
Dude, you are woken up by the sound of something like a tree breaking?
There's action afoot. I'll get up.
Yep. You charge to the room next to you. You see just Damson stretching.
Is your body supposed to make those noises?
I don't know.
Should we get you checked out then?
Nah, I think I'm fine.
All right. Well, I will be in the room next to yours if trouble occurs. Then Duke will walk back to his room.
Meanwhile, I'll, by instinct, almost just start looking around for something more suitable for to wear for a noble kind of event. Realizing that my attire is a bit mundane. Is there like a bell or something you could use to call for servants or?
No. This type of place is not big enough for this. This is
Okay.
This isn't the Duke's estate.
Right.
This is his what did we label him? Steward.
Steward, yeah.
It's like a very nice cottage
Right. Okay.
next to the castle.
Right. Okay. I thought we were in the castle in like a guest area or something.
No. Nice cottage. Very
big
nice
enough to have a-
cottage.
Well, in that case, we'll relax on that bit a bit. I'll get out of my room eventually. Hello, everyone. You had a good night's rest? I certainly did.
How's your stomach?
My stomach.
You was gone for a long time.
We don't speak about such private matters.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just intrigued because, you're my friend.
Oh,
All right. Well, I am fine, as you can see.
That's good.
Sometimes a lady just has certain things to take care of.
Oh, wink.
I imagine Cat didn't actually wink, just audibly said the word.
Yeah. He just said wink.
Why do you want me to wink?
Oh, no. It would look weird if I wink because, and that's it. They just stopped.
Not sure if cats can wink.
I love
Oh.
that Cat and Ada and Cat and Stylex always have like little miscommunication issues.
Yeah.
But no, turns out that pastor guy who
Mhm.
befriended you but wasn't your friend. Turns
Right.
out he was actually a werewolf.
Him as well.
Yeah, he was big. He seems to be one of the scurrier because he tried to stay away from us, and more wats or the people I think were hidden like underneath the chairs and behind the pillars. It was amazing that I didn't see them, but granted, I wasn't looking.
I imagine
But-
you made eye contact with one and just kept to your business.
Have you? Do you know? Have you found out how many people are actually infected with the lycanthropy?
Actual numbers, no. Realistically, majority of the place here is yes over no. So it's easier to point out who's not one than who is. But lucky enough, remember I was telling you about the guy that at the tavern? Turns out he was the son all along. And we convinced him to, take up the fight and get his daughter back, basically, and help us, figure out what's going on. So we go into the church and the priest is just talking and everyone is listening, which is stupid because you never listen to people do monologues because they're going to kill you afterwards. Surprise!
You're kind of doing a monologue right now, so should I be worried or?
No, you are my friend. I will never
Alright.
harm you. If anything, I will put myself in the way to take your harm.
And I will drag you out of harm's way.
Sure, thank you. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm just curious. So this his son. You're
Yes,
certain
yes.
he's not also a were-rat?
Oh, he definitely is.
absolutely. No, he's not a rat. He's a wolf.
Oh, right.
Dog?
Right, because of the lycanthropy that he has contracted.
That means he's right?
So he's a werewolf and were-rats.
Yeah, so apparently it's a spiritual thing. When he converted them, those spirit that's like weak will go into the rat category, but if you have a strong and fighting spirit, goes into like the werewolf category. So the
Interesting.
father tried to convert the son, but the son didn't go into the rat category, got scared, killed the son's girlfriend, wife, because knowing that them two would not follow under his lead because he was literally, charming and spell crafting to lure. So everyone in that church wasn't themselves. So granted, the people we killed, deep slumbered, wasn't their fault in the end, but tough cookie.
Well, it's the question is who can we trust? I mean, the steward is probably fine.
Yeah, the steward is very blind to what happened. He was quite shocked. When we came back, he was like, "Why aren't you in jail?" Because, word spread. But we were lucky enough to convince him. Today we're going to go and see the Baron, which is very dangerous for you. Because you're very pretty. He might want to keep you.
Well, maybe I will just make an effort to not clean myself up then.
That is good, unless you want to marry him and get political power.
And money. He owns a castle and a town.
Well, it could be like a temporary marriage until he has some sort of accident.
You know, oh look, the bridges are down. Let me just walk across with my hose. Oh, the bridge wasn't there all along. Who would have thought?
Right.
Yes, it's not like she's a poisoner.
Also, if you want to ask the son a question, he's right there.
Oh yeah, he's with us. Hello.
Hello, hi.
Hi, yes.
Yes, I've been sitting here listening to you all this whole time. Hi.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. I didn't want to disturb your focus yesterday.
Right. I thought maybe you were like some a mute servant or something.
No. I just know to speak when spoken to.
I didn't quite catch your name. I would prefer not having to refer to you as
Caleb?
a werewolf.
Caleb. Yeah.
Caleb.
Yep, Caleb. Yep.
Caleb, okay.
Caleb, it's a... Oh, wait. Caleb, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Right, I hope so. Is it, so you are infected?
Cursed. But yes,
Correct.
more or less.
And-
Of course, I've learned how to control it very well. It's only under the full moon that I completely lose control. But I have a very nice underground cage built specifically to keep me locked up.
Right,
For the evening, of course, you know?
Sure. I'm just. Do you know where the curse came from? I mean, someone must have brought it here to town.
As far as I'm aware, my father was the first cursed. But he ain't from around these parts. He's from a different location. I didn't pay much attention growing up. A lot of mountains and such around there. A lot of like misty mountains and such.
Well, I'm just from a sort of professional perspective. It seems to me like this is not so much a curse, but also well, it could be like sort of a mixture of curse and a disease. It certainly has some sort of disease-like properties, but I don't know of a cure for it. But maybe there could be at least some sort of treatment for it. There is an herb called the wolf's bane that I know of, which is said to have some sort of properties related to lycanthropy, but I don't know exactly what it's.
Why the hell weren't we talking to her yesterday about all this?
They were having stomach issues like I had the day before this.
Y'all really need to get
It must
acclimated
have
to our
been-
food.
Yeah, apologies for them. Ada and me are the smart ones of, the group.
I believe that is rather presumptuous of you, young cat.
No, I truly believe that. Okay.
You may certainly believe that. It's very common for those with less insight to believe they are very insightful.
Ah, very true.
Oh yes, my insight on people is horrendous. Look how we met. Didn't know who you were.
I don't think you
if I want to demonstrate some of my intellectual prowess here, I would say that whatever the origin of this curse is must lie with where this father was with the misty mountains that Caleb has spoken of.
Well, I mean, I know there's one solution to this whole issue as well, and that's if we don't spread it.
Right.
Simply put, we don't bite people, and then they can't get it. But also, even if you are bitten, you only become one, if you're not tough enough to survive through it. So me and the others are we're gonna go out of our way to make sure we don't spread it. I'll make sure everybody knows good and well that we ain't biting nobody under any circumstance.
Right.
Which actually I'd like to talk to the Baron about as well when we go speak with him. I think anybody who has this disease, if they bite someone, should probably be executed on the spot.
That is the traditional way of curing the disease.
Tradition for a reason.
Why, I wouldn't... My problem with that is, take your father. If they control someone to bite another, whose fault is it? Is it the person being controlled who bit, or your father's fault?
Well, right now I'm the one in control over the others. So it would be my fault. In which case, if I instructed somebody to do that, you should kill me. That's a horrific... Nobody should live like this. I mean, once a month you turn into a bloodthirsty beast that wants to kill everything? That's just unnecessary.
I just glance over to Kat and Ada.
Oh.
It certainly is not a sustainable model for society, to put it like that.
I agree completely. So, yeah, I'm of the personal opinion that we shouldn't be allowed to spread it at all, and execution of anybody who does should be of the utmost importance. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but he looks at Damson and Kat. Maybe it's a little different for the two of you, but like, I've gone my entire life without biting anybody. Seems pretty easy.
Have you ever been laid?
A few times, yes.
You haven't bitten? Wow, you
not sure.
haven't.
Given my disposition, I have not bitten.
That is very great for you and great willpower. You have my respect.
What the hell y'all biting for? There's something wrong with you.
You said that the curse doesn't affect children, but
It-
what happens to those born of ones who have lycanthropy? Do they inherit it?
Well, I'm not
When they
too
turn-
sure. I mean, I didn't transform of a willing accord. He unbuttons his sleeve and rolls it up, and you see a giant rat-like bite mark on his forearm. My father bit me in order to turn me, so I'm assuming it has to be something given. Or else I would have just turned, I guess.
Well, from what you said, the children are immune unless they're...
Oh, the children are immune, meaning we can't give them lycanthropy. So
Right,
even
and
if we
one-
were to bite them, if they're not of the mature age, they're immune.
Right, I'm just wondering if then maybe they turn when they reach adulthood?
Well, no, I didn't turn when I reached adulthood. That's why he bit me.
Huh. But then again, he wasn't a were-rat when you were born, right?
I'm his son.
Right, but was he a were-rat before you were born? Or
As
after?
far back as I can remember, he disappeared every single, once a month. So I think
I
he's
guess that
been one since before I was born.
Oh, so maybe you were just born how you are then.
No,
Instead
he
of
bit me to make me what I am, just like he did to
Yeah.
everybody else.
But
Perhaps
if he
it's,
was... Go ahead.
I'm thinking like, let's entertain the idea that you were born after he was infected.
Sure.
Right. So in that case, you would be a latent carrier of the disease, the curse.
All right.
Could be that when he bit you later, that it sort of triggered the latent. But because you were because you were born with it, maybe you have some sort of more innate control over it, since you are capable of controlling it at least.
Then why? But like, maybe. But like, he bit everybody that he turned. Same way, same ceremonial circumstance.
But would you say that all of them have the same level of control over it that you do?
Oh yeah. I mean, those of us that have worked on the control aspect absolutely do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
okay.
for some reason I'm like, man, I hate this terminology because I feel like it's overstated and not really like a true terminology. I'm like an alpha of sorts.
Right.
I don't know. It feels stupid me just saying that word. You know.
I understand. As an animal myself, it just means you want to look out for your family, and that's what it means. You're the man of the house, humans say. I heard once or twice before.
Sure.
And looking at yourself, you truly do want to help with your kind words and how you are. You're not throwing anyone away. You're not calling heretics as soon as they enter. You want to know and understand. You have an open mind, making you a far better leader than majority of people, because you can stop, take the situation in, and understand the next processes.
Well, very much appreciated. Thank you.
Speaking of how are you feeling with that position being transferred over to you? Do you feel any different than last night? Do you perhaps maybe are you able to point out those that are under the same curse as you that you now are superseding over?
I mean, I do feel much better, but that could just be that I slept with, a roof over my head for the first time in years. I also feel way more tired.
Right.
It's kind of hard for me to read. It's only been like 12 hours, so it's a lot to analyze in such a short amount of time.
Fair enough.
The question remains: what is it you want to do about the current situation?
Oh, I want to make sure that the people here don't turn out like my father. I want to make sure we live with the curse we have, we adapt with it, and we don't spread it.
Excuse me, I didn't quite catch if is your father still alive right now, or is he?
Oh no, no.
Yeah, you see Duke like doing like the cut neck over his like the cutting his neck motion.
Right.
Like he's dead.
Right. I'm sorry for your loss, I suppose.
Appreciated, but not warranted. He deserved it.
Sure, but
it's unfortunate
yes.
he deserved it, but he deserved it.
Right. Well, I would think that. Well, when the Baron, if he has any sort of political weight among the other nobles in the region, it would probably end with some sort of well, I mean, when there have historically been epidemics or local outbreaks of lycanthropy, it's very common to burn it out at the root. Sort of.
Right.
I mean, if you also think about it like this, you could also become good protectors for the town against other bandits trying to do harm. Yeah.
I mean, y'all saw I'm completely in control of myself. I'm
Mm-hmm.
no problem. I transform to and fro. I can only do it at nighttime, but you know, it's. I don't know. I think like. Hopefully, we can find a way to make them understand a little better. I'd hope they understand a little better.
I certainly see your viewpoint, and it's of course understandable. It's just you must understand also the caution must be taken. As you said, sir, you have a system for keeping yourself locked up at full moon, but it only takes one lapse.
Right. Right, yeah, we need to have a tight regimen system. I've been living with it for years, thus far, and I have yet to bite anybody.
I do believe that transparency is the key here to let the public be aware of this situation, and with your good intentions being true, they will see themselves through.
Yeah.
I don't think you should trust the public on anything.
Well,
trust
do
the
you think-
Baron.
There you go.
We can trust the Baron, right? I mean, nobles are supposed to look out for their people, and we're their people, right? That's the way nobility works, isn't it?
Sure.
Yes.
So do you believe? I'm just curious. Do you believe that it is better to lie to the public about this matter then, and not have them all be aware of what is going on? Because that is the other direction that we would be going.
I don't think lying about it, but I mean, just like maybe just like making it different. It maybe like it's like selling, you know.
Right.
Like if you sell it as, hey, we're these bloodthirsty monsters that want to kill everything, and they're going to treat us like bloodthirsty monsters that are going to kill everything. But if we sell it as, hey, we're just normal folks like you, just, you know, once a month we gotta, you know, try to eat some shit. Maybe
Right.
it'd be a little more elegantly than that, but, you know, like that, maybe. I'm not...
Right. Which would be your good intentions, which is why I'm saying if you reveal this to the public, then if your good intentions are true, they will see themselves through.
Right.
Right.
That is the hope.
Well, I suppose, are you going to come with us to speak with the Baron?
That is my hope, yeah.
Okay.
And around this point, the steward has walked out from the kitchen. Good morning, everyone. So, I figured since today may be your last meals, we'd make it something very good.
I certainly do hope that it's not our last meals.
Prepare for the worst, pray for the best.
I'd like to think the steward's been listening into the conversation the entire time.
Roll me an insight check.
Cottage.
Yeah.
It was like we
Roll
were
inside on
staring
those.
at him cooking. It's cottages are real cozy.
Damson, that shit smells good. Ada, oh, that smells so good. Your stomachs are rumbling after yesterday.
You certainly awake some appetite in me.
Good. We got over here. I made y'all some onion omelets. They got some green onions inside of them, some peppers as well. A little on the spicy side, you know, for people not from, or wrong accent, for people not in this area. And we also managed to make you some, well, I managed to cook up a very nice pureed cauliflower that hopefully you'll enjoy as well.
Thank you oh so much.
Of course.
And
fruits.
before we-
Yeah.
Yes, I just had some questions about the Baron. Is he? What is his family? Is he all by himself, or does he have any children, a wife?
He has, in the past, taken 3 wives so far. Each of them he lets rule over his various other castles.
So how many castles does he have?
4.
Oh.
Yes.
Ada, he might get a 5th one.
So he currently has 3 wives?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. But no children?
Not as far as I'm aware of. I
Oh.
mean, quite possibly, but he doesn't really speak about his personal affairs very often.
How
Right, but
old
as
is
the-
he?
As the steward, I would suppose you would know.
I do not press any issues for the Baron. He's in his early 30s.
Oh, so he's young. Is he aggressive? Like, what's his mannerism? Would you speaking like 1-to-1 is like, are we in danger of saying the wrong thing or
Yes.
is he
If you do not
Okay.
carry yourself with the proper amount of tact, it is customary for nobles to treat their subjects based on how they present themselves and treat them. So make sure you're dressed as finely as you can afford, and your manners are kept on a tight leash.
Well, is there a place in town where we could buy some, or maybe borrow some fine clothes?
The town's a little bit in an uproar right now. We're going to wait until the Duke makes his decree before granting you all freedom.
Understandable.
No, I get it's because we did put a couple into the deep sleep in defending ourselves.
That is your claim, yes, and the Duke will be able to filter through this properly. It is his
Sure.
responsibility.
Uh,
It is the way, winking to Duke, saying wink at the same time.
I'm sorry, is the Duke or is the Baron?
The Baron. I keep fucking up because I'm reading Duke over there, and he's a Baron. Sorry, the Baron. The Baron.
Okay, sorry, yes.
The Baron, yes. So enjoy your breakfast. Eat to your
Thank you.
heart's content.
Right.
Well, I'm for one am very grateful, sir, and he immediately just starts piling shit onto his plate. Gusto. So
Yeah,
Have a
no,
mod.
Cat will be will summon up a mage hand to take the spoon and slowly get out the puree into their own mouth.
the steward's eyes go wide when the fucking mage hand is summoned.
I've got paws. I can't look. It's hard.
You're a mage.
No.
You're
I
a
wouldn't
mage.
cast-
You just casted a spell.
No. I'm a spirit. Different.
Deception check.
10.
You're a mage.
I mean, you can call me that, sure. Like as you said, but I need this. It is like my accessibility. Unless you want to feed me, I wouldn't mind.
No more spell casting, and he'll come over and start feeding you instead.
Mm.
And you can tell he is clearly afraid of you, Cat. Very afraid of you.
Damson doesn't do any magic. She just got a spear and a crossbow.
Yeah, you're totally just a crossbow user.
Yeah, you're a ranger. Wink.
But anyways, you all get to eat breakfast. And
I would have stayed in Lila May's room until she woke up, and then at some point, her and I assume, hit the kitchen
Yeah.
where everyone is.
Yep. So, everybody, you enjoy breakfast.
Yeah. Before I eat anything, I just want to like smell the food a little bit while I'm doing it to like
Detect
not
poison?
yeah, not too conspicuously, but trying to estimate whether it's been tampered with in any way.
Nature check.
Apart from cooking.
Or sorry, detect poison is identifying the poison. Okay, that is going to be a nature check. Because you are proficient in poisoners, you have advantage.
Nice. 15.
There is no poison in this that you can detect. Oh, but he does use paprika.
Is that paprika I smell in your cooking?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Sure. You know, it's I for one don't mind it, but yeah, I know that there are some people who don't like it. It's, sort of like with those people who like you know, pineapple on bread or pineapple on. It doesn't matter. It's very good.
I've
Nice.
never had pineapple. It is an exotic fruit from very far away. I would enjoy to try some.
Well, maybe in this part you call it ananas.
I'm missing something here.
That before pineapple was called pineapple, the rest of the world just called it Anna, like banana. That's it.
I'm an American.
Yeah.
We call that
Almost
shit
the whole
pineapple.
world calls it ananas.
Yeah, that went over my head. That went
I'm an
over my head too,
American.
Joey.
I am willfully ignorant, and that is my right.
Yeah. It's, yeah. I suppose in the Spanish-speaking world you call it piña.
Oh, I like pina coladas.
Right. It's piña, pine.
And getting
What about
lost in
dancing
the
in the
rain.
rain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very.
So, while you guys are having a beautiful conversation about pineapples, I think we can go ahead and go on break, everybody. We'll be back.
Yeah.
we're back, everyone. So, after you all leave, breakfast gets tended to by a couple of servants here in the town. You walk outside and you see that there is the entire village sitting outside, waiting in anticipation to see you all. Many of them look very angry and aggravated. A few of them, however, seem to be much more curious, but you can definitely tell tensions are incredibly high. The steward gestures. Okay, we're going to go over towards the castle. Everyone else, give us a wide berth now. And after everybody gives a wide berth, you crest over towards the castle. In the broad daylight, a proud silhouette against the beautiful sky above you. You can see the dazzling sunshine radiating down on top of the courtyard that is right past these ancient stone walls. The walls are weathered but steadfast, their gray hue softening in a golden light. The castle's age is evident in the deep scars etched into its facade. Remnants of past sieges and battles where stones have been cracked or poke-marked by the impact of long-forgotten weapons. Yet, rather than diminish its beauty, these marks tell a story of resilience, a reminder of the castle's defenses for its people. Its original design is distinctly Baklunish, with elegant spires and arches that speak of an older time. Graceful geometric carvings, intricate sunburst patterns, and faint traces of gold leafing hint at the opulence it once held. Over the centuries, the tasteful additions have been made to accommodate more modern needs. You can distinctly tell that there's a newer south tower built from lighter stone that seems much more freshly constructed than the rest of it. As you enter past the fortified gates, you see the beautiful courtyard before you. Well-maintained fountain is positioned over on the one side, and a gorgeous garden of deep-seated trees of this culture and climate is gorgeously on display and clearly tended to on a regular basis. You see a litany of beautiful orchids and unique flowers that some seem indigenous to this region, but others clearly have to be gifted or sought after by the caretakers of this beautiful land. And as you all are walking up, the steward will close the doors behind you as you are all standing in there. Notably, you can look up on the walls and tell that there's a good 13 or so guards watching you all, and with the elevated advantage of a tower as well as all of the peaks that are in there for them to see out at you, you can clearly tell the instilled disadvantage you all would have in a conflict. Boop, boop. Move you all over there.
How well equipped are the guards? What sort of armor?
You can see the upper halves of them against the towers, and keep in mind that the castles have the pushed out fortification, so they can shoot downwards against it or over the top at anybody. But you can see that they are adorned with splint armors up of their upper bodies and long bows. But you can't see any other weaponry. Now, Baron Kaif El-Ishad, barely in his mid-30s, exudes the charisma and authority of a man twice his age. He has a very sharp face and symmetrical appearance, framed by this gorgeous auburn black hair on his head. His skin is of a slight olive tone, but it seems to be much paler as somebody who doesn't venture outside very often. But the thing about him that stands out is how well dressed he is. The royal blues and gold robes embroidered with crescent motifs and sunbursts. He bears an emblem of his house that is a gorgeous amber gem that has like a slit of an eye inside of it as all of you are walking forward, and he seems to be standing on his front porch to the centralized home inside of this estate. Now, his eyes carry both warmth and command with them, as though his demeanor speaks of refinement, but his obligations to the people speak of firmness. As you all approach towards him, what do you do?
Move first. And halt like somewhere in front at a respectful distance and go up and do a small curtsy. Pleasure to meet you, my lord.
I need you to roll a performance check at advantage. 20. As you meet him with this, he will nod towards you respectfully and lean his one leg backwards, giving a curt, obligatory gesture towards all of you of welcomeness. His arms are behind his back currently, and he seems to be watching each of you carefully.
I'll follow his lead.
So, the steward seemed to think that it wasn't necessary taking all of your armaments. If you would be so kind as to relinquish your weapons and toss them over into the garden, I would be very appreciative.
I'll put my armaments down into the garden.
Give me one moment. I will take out my hand axe. I will take out the troglodyte spine, and then I will take out my longsword.
Yeah, I'll take out my let's see, what do I have? My short bow and sling, and two of my daggers, and I'll lay them down and keep the last one hidden.
Okay.
I'll take out the spear and walk over to where Miss Ada put her gear, and I'll push it down to the ground, point first, so that it's standing. And then I'll step away and take my place.
Well, thank you very much. And whom is going to be speaking for your group for my noble decree?
Well, I suppose it might be me, unless I look at everyone for any protests.
Are deliberations still required? Did the steward not tell you all that you need to be able to be forming your statements towards me cohesively and with one unified voice?
Well, we are in agreement. We just did not specifically decide which one we speak, but I am comfortable with being our voice.
Very well. Then, the claims laid about all of you thus far are the suspicions of murder under the guise of attack against you. Feral beasts of numerous varieties makeshifted themselves into man shapes within this village, and you all slayed quite a few of them. These villagers, however, were under my authority And I would like to know your exact descriptions and recounting of what transpired yesterday. And unfortunately, she is actually here. I will be right back. I'm going to leave the stream open and stuff.
All right, cool. So just a reminder, we are still live as we talk amongst each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Is there anything specific you want me to avoid saying, or?
I
don't
just
think so.
find it funny that Ada the one's doing the talking, but she
I-
wasn't in the combat or the fight or the talks or the processing. So it's literally her understanding is only what she's been told.
I really would.
Mm.
I really would, but I have no charisma whatsoever.
Yeah, and I thought that's the second part that's funny is the non-charisma person. I mean, you still have some charisma, but Duke and I, our previous campaign, there were a bunch of others charisma casters, and for some reason I felt like it was he and I that always had to speak, and we had
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It was me.
we-
It was me and Asa that always had to talk to NPCs, and we're just looking at the charisma characters, just like not participating. Like, come on, throw us a bone.
I think we pretty much dumped her. Charisma was not our stat, right? So
No,
it's
no.
like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
I did my best. Like, I could talk, but I don't know the proper mannerisms for it. That's more Ada's and Cat thing.
Yeah.
But I figured like the way that I helped put everything together of like, just tell the truth, if we were traveling up this way after saving Karashan and Daraja from a troglodyte invasion, that we came here, we wanted to sell some goods that we had collected along the way from the troglodyte camp. We were able to sell some to the steward, and we were hoping to have a meeting with you to sell some more. Our party then split to some go to the evening procession, others stayed at the tavern. We met up afterwards. As I was walking outside to go to the bathroom, I was attacked by this rat-looking thing that we just came back from fighting troglodytes, so I was on edge and I killed it. And then when we saw it was a villager, we did our best to not further harm anyone that was attacking us, thinking they were under some kind of control. And then we chased after the ones that tried to run away. We figured out more of the story of the pastor's son. And with that, seeing that there was people under control, we took it upon ourselves to try and end it with as little mess as possible to save the villagers, just like we had kind of done in Karashan and Daraja.
You said this earlier. But
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
But like the thing is, like, we don't need to hear that. The NPCs need to hear that.
Yeah. That I'm saying that to y'all because that's what I think it should be, kind of like,
Yeah,
said
but
of like
you said that the fourth time now, though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that's the stuff that. I mean, are you a charisma character?
Yes.
I am, yes.
Like, that's the stuff that like we get, like, but that's the stuff that like me and like Stylax and Duke would love to express, but like if we do that and then we gotta roll the charisma check for it, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, charisma is not my main stat, but I have a 16 in it, so it's not too bad.
I ain't knowing that, so Cat ain't gonna do it.
I wasn't sure if Cat has any. Well, Cat's been very deceptive, but I don't know if Cat's been very persuasive. Also.
Also, I wonder if it's the speaking under one voice that we can't get advantage.
Yeah, it could be.
But we'll see.
Oh, that is interesting. Speaking under one voice, so.
But if you're asking if they're very persuasive, they are. When it comes to anything charisma, their act and mannerism is different of who they really are.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh man!
Thank you. She attempted to yap. So, everyone, have you done your deliberations with one another?
Yeah.
So I think it's still Miss Ada speaking because of her familiarity.
Oh, also one other thing is Caleb in the room with us?
Yes, I did not bring his token over here, did I? He was last on the Heathen Pack. Boop, Caleb, look at that handsome man.
Mm.
And look at this fabulous man.
Intimidating.
His face is too symmetrical.
I
I can fix that.
I love how you were talking about what type of person has these amount of insecurities. I was like,
Yeah, it's like, well,
So, he looks out at all of you. You may begin recounting the events that transpired.
All right. Well, we arrived sometime in the early afternoon yesterday, and our first thought was to go trade, and we got the impression that there were some items that you yourself or your steward might be interested in, and so we did speak with the steward. There is also another merchant who came with us. His name is Marcus Line.
And why is he not here right now?
He was not involved in the incidents that occurred. We also got familiarized a little bit in your quite beautiful town, and I assume you know who this pastor is.
Yes, I'm fully aware of the pastor and his teachings at that church.
Right, and we were, Stylax and I were invited. I suppose we were all invited, but we chose to partake in the communion that they did, and also it was a very charming experience. Some might say enchanting. Well, it turned out that we were in fact under some sort of enchantment after partaking in the sermon done by the pastor. Both myself and my friend Stylax seemed to have a very difficult time thinking skeptically of anything the pastor might say, but our friends, with some cunning and persuasive arguments, managed to make us realize that our thoughts were not quite in line with who we are as people from before.
Can you explain why that is?
Why we were different?
Yes, what was different about your thoughts?
Well, I can speak for myself at least. I found myself during this enchantment to be very much less analytical and skeptical. Normally, I am inclined to be quite skeptical of most experiences, trying to see it from different perspectives and think of them in different ways. But then I was not able to see any bad things at all with the pastor. Although I did come to realize afterwards that, well, it's this pastor. He was, if he had such a strong position within your communities, and well, he would be in a position to undermine your authority. And of course, that is. It was not something I was capable of thinking while I was under his spell.
Was this pastor undermining my authority?
Well, yes, simply by virtue of bringing the people under his wing.
Oh. That is his only comment, scoff.
Can I insight that?
Go for it.
I can roll a d8 if I fail.
You did not fail. That seemed to be the first thing that bothered him in all of this thus far. The prospect that somebody undermined his authority, he found preposterous.
Right. And so afterwards, when we had spoken, we were at the tavern. Where barn. Well, my friend here, Damson, went out and was attacked by two individuals at first. And when we saw them, they were small, rat-like individuals. Well, I say small, but they were hunched and about human-sized. And it led to a confrontation, of course. They tried to kill us. We did try to spare them. But, well, things happen in combat, and sometimes
What was the circumstance surrounding them attacking you? I was alerted that it was one of your allies leaving the tavern in town. Is it a tavern here? Inn?
I believe it. Yes, I believe it's an sort of an improvised inn.
Very well. What was the circumstance surrounding the attack? How did it unfold? I would like to hear from this Damson individual on this matter.
I will step aside and gesture towards Damson.
Yes.
Mic muted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Greetings, my lord. The circumstances surrounding this is I was heading out to use the restroom when from the bushes, initially one of these rat creatures attacked me.
I'm sorry, the restroom was outside.
Yes, my lord.
Very well. I will have to check in on this fact.
As such, and I was off-put by such an attack and the monstrous appearance, I had my spear, which I did attack them with. Upon the first outcome, they fell and reverted back to a more human appearance, at which case we knew that the folk or the creatures that were attacking us were parts of the community that we had found so lovely that we did not want to kill anyone. We wished to knock them out to prevent any further bloodshed.
The
Upon which
alert given to me is that the individuals found dead were people, not beasts.
your alerts would be correct in the fact that they turned back when they fell.
So you mean to tell me that they are shapeshifters? What are they, changelings?
Lycanthropes, my lord.
Yes. What were you trying to say?
Yes, lycanthropy. It is some say curse, others say disease. It is a little bit of both. And, when the victims of this curse are, when it manifests, they can turn into different sorts of bestial creatures. Most common is a wolf. You have probably heard of a werewolf. But
This
there
is one I
also-
have heard of, yes.
Right. But there are also similar kinds of curses where you can turn into like a were.
I'm going to apologize for this, but he's going to interrupt you. Continue your story, Damson. I'm sorry,
Upon-
he's a dick.
No problem at all.
Upon knocking out two of more of the attackers, we brought them inside and tied them up as we tried to bring them back from unconsciousness, upon which they looked at all of us and accused us of being part of the group known as the Heathens, and that the pastor had informed them that they were to eliminate us, as that we were enemies of the church.
Enemies of the
During-
church. Do any of you have any antagonistic intents towards the Church of Palor?
No, my lord.
He looks up at the tower and you see one guard nods, and then he looks back at you.
To my knowledge, no, my lord. Upon having to knock out the two townsfolk again as they were shapeshifting back into these rat forms, was out of character, was it Duke or Stylex that saw the wolf one first?
I want to say Stylax.
Cat saw the wolf in the woods.
So it was Cat that saw and alerted everyone.
Yes, Cat saw them in the woods.
Okay, yeah. The woods. Is that also for the same for the village when they were first running?
First running.
Yeah, because we saw the wolf one in the village, and then we chased after to go into the woods. And that's when
Yes,
Cat
that
saw
was
her.
Cat. Cat was the only and first one to see them until you guys made it outside the village.
Okay. It is when my companion, Cat, spoke up seeing a different looking one.
Which of you
One
is
that-
Cat?
The one that looks like a cat, my lord.
I do not see this. Wait, you mean the
Oh.
cat back there? Points way far behind all of you guys, still in, like, over here. You mean to tell me a cat told you they saw a dog in the woods?
Yes, my lord.
What type of fool do you take me for?
Cat, could you come over here, please?
Yeah, they will walk over, go between her legs.
Are you walking on all fours on bar pedals?
Yeah, yeah.
The Baron will roll his eyes. Well-trained cat, congratulations.
Thank you.
What the heavens? Are you a talking cat?
Yes.
Come here now.
Okay. They go up. Hi, you're very pretty.
Thank you. He'll go down and start petting you a little bit. I need an insight
Yeah.
check from Damson, Ada, and Stylax.
Got a 2.
Damson, he seems to like petting cats. It's reasonable. Stylax, he's searching for something on them. Ada, this man is searching for a zipper. He seems to think maybe it's like a goblin in a cat suit or something. But Cat, yeah, you're getting pet. and Duke, yeah, you're just watching that.
Would you like to pick me up and hold me in your arms?
I will, and he'll pick you up and like look at your underbelly and scratch it a little bit. And
Yes.
this is a unique circumstance. Continue.
We just
Cat-
lost Cat.
Cat is domesticated now. Just
All two goes one belly scratch. Cat saw a woven werewolf, so a werewolf, fleeing the town, and we thought to give chase, thinking that perhaps they might have been the mastermind behind this attack, like the leader. Took Cat, and we grabbed our supplies as I split off from the rest of the party to give chase. And we were able to leave the city and meet up with the rest of our group that had found a boat to go down the river with.
Cat, recount from your perspective the moment you laid eyes on this creature. Again, I'm sorry, he's interrupting you. I'm sorry.
Absolutely, my lord. After the were-rats attacked us, I looked out just in case if there was any more, and spotted a canine on all fours, which was odd as it spotted me. Then it dashed on towards the docks. I believed it either jumped within the river to escape the circumstance. After the confrontation, we got together and made an understanding decision to wait. Me and Damson then broke off because we decided to try and find where that dog was going from the outside. A guard came and met us and saw that we were okay. So he allowed us passage outside.
Wait, one of my guards just allowed you to leave?
This is correct, my lord.
Would you be able to identify this guard?
I do not believe so, my lord. My mind isn't so good. I'm a cat.
Is that a deception check?
Hell yeah.
It's just a true statement.
They had their helmet on. It was in black and white.
26.
Nice.
Very well.
But I think it's because of our appearance they allowed us, being that we look beastly, but we are truly friendly.
Well, friendly. That is quite a statement. Whom here all was infatuated with the words of this pastor? Speak up.
Cat's
It
tail
was-
starts to point to Ada and Starlax.
It was me and my friend Stylax.
Stylax,
Yes.
recount the feeling that you had towards this individual while you were under their guias.
It was a good feeling. Rather enjoyed the services. They were fun. Food after was great. Yeah. I was not aware that I was under their spell until it was pointed out to me. And something happened, and I realized that I wasn't thinking completely clear. And
What- What was it that happened? Again, sorry for interrupting you. But...
it had to do with Miss Ada and just how I was saying things, and you see, it was very difficult because, I mean, I'm a religious person and I enjoy services from time to time, but there was something making me more like I was under their spell. I can't say there was a direct thing that I could say, oh, this was completely different, but it was just subtly manipulating my thoughts and feelings. Good feelings, but feelings I probably should not have had at the time.
Forced manipulation of not just perception, but of feelings? Was there any feeling of obligation?
I don't know if it was of obligation. It could be, but just the good feelings that I felt. But these were good feelings that I feel at other times in enjoying life.
And how about for you, Ada, was it?
Yes, Adeline Devereaux, to be really clear.
Devereaux?
Yes, it's my family name. But yes, I recall the same thing as I said. That my cognitive faculties were impaired under this enchantment, whatever it was. And I also recall that there was a very strong sense of community with the community with the other in the congregation. And well, one might think where if this pastor was able to assert such influence on someone, then he must have had some sort of nefarious intent. He certainly seems already able to gather the townspeople into a fervor under his leadership.
I'll put my hand like forward in front of me just to show that I have a signet ring.
His eyes make very brief contact with the ring, but you can tell that he specifically looks and... Ooh, excuse me. Oh, that was a long burp. Sorry.
I thought it was in character.
Oh, excuse me. You can tell that there is an expert level analysis of that signet ring the moment his eyes glaze over it. Then my decree is very simple. Given the circumstance, Madame Devereaux, very apologetic for any hostilities you may have experienced under my sanctum. Though next time, please make myself aware of your presence when you are here, so that no further unnecessary outbursts can befall you. As for what transpired with the pastor, all of you are given amnesty for his untimely demise. We will hawk it up to noble protection and priority.
We are very grateful for your lenience and your mercy, of course.
Of course. Now, if you all will, join me inside. We shall have a small little dinner, as I would like to speak to you all more in a less formal forum. Leave your weaponry outside. I assure you it is not necessary. And he turns, taking Cat with him, inside.
Nice.
That burn still, just the vibrations.
So follow inside.
Are the guards just up on the walls around, or are there guards inside as well?
There has been no sighted guards outside of on the walls thus far. Roll me a perception check as you're walking in. Cat, let me move you back down.
Sweet.
There appears to be servants inside of the main body and building, and 2 guards in here. Both of them look incredibly diligent and very observant, clearly earning a large wage for their expertise as they seem to analyze all of you the same way that Stylax seems to be analyzing all of them.
So, is it a staring contest?
Between them, probably. But the Baron is going to sit down on a very nice-looking chair. Not really a throne, just a large back chair. And you see that there are many other chairs already aligned in here as he turns, places you in the chair, Cat, approaches over to you, Ada. And he will bow his head, take your hand, and kiss the back of it.
Oh, thank you very graciously, my lord.
Of course, decorum is always necessary. I do wish to just confirm you are not carrying with you the plague, are you?
No, I am not.
Oh, very good. And I assume this meeting between us is because you are seeking something?
Yes, well, truthfully, our stop here in your beautiful little town is just on our way further north. We are seeking a person who is of interest to us, who has proven to be hostile, for lack of a better word.
Oh, my goodness. Is there anything I can assist you with?
Well, maybe he would have passed through here. It is a person wearing brown robes. He is a mage of no small power.
A mage, you say?
Yes, we are hunting him, you could say.
He walks back over to his chair, picks you up, Cat, sits down, puts you back on his lap. A mage. Well, not but a couple of weeks ago, there was a mage who had stopped by in my town. My steward had met with him and assured me that there were no necessary objects for me to try to procure for him, though he seemed partial to a few of them that he wished to collect instead. So, if that is the same individual, perhaps my steward will be capable of guiding you all quite a little bit better as to whom you are looking for and perhaps has more additional information. I will alert him that he is to give you whatever information he has pertaining to this with efficiency and accuracy.
Thank you very much, my lord.
Of course. Now, what is it that you came here to offer me?
We have acquired a few things that were that we thought were of such good quality that they would only be they would only be suitable for a man of your stature. So we have some wines and we have some fine cloth as well that you might have an interest in. We were hoping you will might have an interest in purchasing some. We find ourselves in need of some funds.
The DeVoes are in need of funds.
Well, not my family per se, but our group here. I am far away from my homeland, as you know.
And you cannot have contact with them, given the states. Understandable completely. Well, I am more than happy to give you specific accommodations, of course. In the understanding of quid pro quo.
Yes, of course. So you have something you
need us to do?
Yes, I do. I'm not too terribly understanding about your culture, but where do they stand on arranged marriages?
Well, it is a very common tradition, of course.
You see, in the back Lunish lands, we have this understanding, of course, that any man of land holding or acquisition of lands should be granted as many wives as he has homes to tend to. And, of course, me being of my family name, I am obligated to continue that legacy on and carry it as well. So, perhaps if you are in desperate need of funds, we could arrange a quick marriage. It would do my family a great deal of service to have yet another castle purchasable by myself, of course, and would grant you the necessary funds to pursue your endeavors and goals.
Well, it is a very gracious offer, of course, my lord.
And I assure you, it's strictly political.
Can I insight that? Like it.
Yeah, go for it.
Just make sure- Yeah, I have a feeling, but I don't know.
His eyes have looked over Stylax, Duke, and Caleb numerous times. Never once has he done anything outside of just gracious looking towards Ada or yourself. And obviously Cat is a cat.
Yeah, he's just enjoying the fact that he has someone, an animal to pet right now.
Yeah. There has been, among common folk, it's normal not to like women. Like, there's people, men like that. Among nobilities, they still have the expectation to sire an heir.
Yeah, well, before I would, I will have to think. It's not a small decision, but
Of course, especially in your culture where you can only marry and wed once ever in your life. You have to make sure it is of the necessary accord. It would be beneficial to me, and if it is beneficial to you, in a great enough capacity, we may do so.
right. Well, what is the tradition here for adopting the family name of your new family?
Oh, you would be granted the same title honorific as myself.
Right, but would I also have to take your last name, your family name?
You would be Adeline Dvor al-Irshad. Which to us means of Ishad, of our family.
Well, it is, like I said, a very gracious offer. It's not
There's a
something
very
I can...
lovely castle that I'm interested in procuring.
Oh,
Yes.
where would this be?
Oh, a bit more up north. You see, a few individuals are leaving the local areas. And as such, let me bring you guys over to the map. All right. So you guys are...
Right here.
Yeah, you're past the river right now. The place he speaks of, he said it was up north. It is located within the farmlands of EXANDRIA. Yes. Very lovely location. It's positioned perfectly between two mountains, so you're able to gaze upon the sun as it radiates perfectly on the garden right inside. And, of course, it is original Bakalunish architecture. 10-foot high walls.
Well, I would very much be. Well, I might be interested, but I need to confer with my family through letters first.
Of course, of course. Do what is necessary for your customs. The table is, of course, on the the offer is, of course, on the table. And as I already claimed to you, it is strictly for monetary gain for myself.
Right.
And of course, you can... I let all of my wives just stay at whatever house they wish to. I come by whenever I need to.
Okay. Well, let me think for a bit, and I will get back to you soon.
Out of character, you would be gaining a bastion for marrying
what I
a
was
gay
thinking.
man.
Yeah.
If I didn't make it
But
clear
I was
enough,
also
yes,
thinking, hey,
he's
we
very
have a
gay.
bastion here if we kill this guy. So.
True, true. It's
So we could have two bastions.
you'd have to be married twice.
Aw.
For each wife, he's allowed to have one castle.
Yeah.
So he just leaves his wives at his castles and gets more. You guys were worried about him.
I mean, Miss Ada, this does seem like a quite... Like, I'm gonna go over, like, stage whisper, you know, like, just kind of like conversation. It does seem like a quite of a boon for you, Ada, and especially Hush, so he can hear. He seems to look more over towards others more than yourself. Kind of like glancing towards Stylex and Duke. And Caleb.
Well, I'll turn sort of lower my voice as well. So, you know, due to our circumstance with the memories and all that, I cannot be fully sure if I'm not already engaged.
Well, that is neither here nor now. Quite simply put, if you don't remember you had one, then you don't have one.
Well, it's not quite so simple, I think. Yeah. These things
Sure
are
it is.
not where I am from, if I remember correctly. And my memories has been returning. These things have been arranged for a long time when such betrothals are made. So it is not simply a matter of remembering, it is a matter of documentation.
Well, you can always ask what is, You could always try to explain some of the circumstances behind it. And also ask what the... No, actually, no, that would be rude to ask that. Never mind that. But it could be beneficial to let him know why that we're also looking for the mage. Especially if he knows that it's been an assault on your person. He might be more willing to lend more assistance.
Right.
Especially if he's looking for a quid pro quo.
Sure, and I am getting to that. Just would like to, well, get some time to think through my options. But yes, I'll turn back to the Baron. And you said your steward would be willing to give us some more information about the mage.
Oh, absolutely. I will send word to him immediately that he is to give you whatever information you are asking for pertaining towards that customer without any check or forethought.
Nice.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Well, just to be a little bit, to elaborate a bit on the story here, it seems this mage, he has, well, my friends and I here, we are all victims of the mage, in that he stole our memories to some extent.
Oh.
Or at least he has done some thing to influence our minds, so we can't quite remember everything.
I am so sorry to hear that. That sounds Devastating. Oh,
Right, it certainly has been a confusing time.
I'm sure. Does that include the cat?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you not a construct of his own magic?
Oh, no. I am my own person.
And you're aware
If
of
you want to
this?
marry me, you could.
Ew, no. Listen, I make do with marrying a woman, but I will not marry a cat.
Yes, but think about this. You would be greatly known because you would have a talking cat.
I have a third cousin who got in relations with a donkey. I'm okay.
Well, of course, our relationship was going to be bad. He married an arse.
Can you stay here?
Well, you know, there are cultures where, in accordance with tradition, you can have also arranged marriages for pets.
I could find you a different cat. We could breed talking cats.
It could be quite an industrious venture.
I mean, I'm not refusing.
Oh, God. So, take the time that is necessary for you. In the meantime, I'll make sure my decree is ushered outwards by the steward. I really don't like conversing with the people very often here. Beautiful castle, but honestly, the surrounding area. By the way, you in the back, you've just been sitting there smiling the whole time. What are you doing? How there? I'm Caleb. I'm one of those people from this town. Okay, and well, I I came here in the hopes of validating some of their story, as well as asking you for favor. More favors. Very well. What is your favor? Well, you see, my father was the pastor. Oh, well, sins of the father and all that. Right, of course. Thank you very much, sir. But you see, the disease is passed on. Quite a few of us here in town have it. Oh no! Oh, that is going to be devastating to the population. That's what I wanted to hopefully talk to you about. You see, we're not all bloodthirsty, crazed beasts. Under guidance and supervision, in fact, I've been able to help quite a few of them become cognizant of themselves. It's just under the full moon that we become bloodthirsty and crazed. And I already have a very simple solution for that one. Yes, beheadings. No. Shackles and chains in cages. Like beasts. Yes, sir. I'm not a sir, I'm a baron. Yes, baron. So, I was wondering if you'd be so kind, of course, to allow me and the other people living with this disease to continue living here. And under the guise of not, I mean, we are a lot stronger than most people. Not to say that in a threatening way at all, just as a statement of fact, as we can transform into other forms. And how is this passed on? Through sexual means, bodily fluids? Bodily fluids from bats. Oh, disgusting. and you're asking me to just allow these people to live here, and who's going to take responsibility for them? That'd be me, sir. You see, we have a animalistic pack-like mentality, and I am in control if I wish to do that to them, much like my father was to the ones that went and attacked these good folk. They didn't have any choice. They had to fight and do what he said. I will not be utilizing that type of ability on these folks. I find that despicable, utterly despicable. So I'm just asking if we can remain members of your very fine village here. I will have an answer for you before dusk on that matter. But don't get too comfortable. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your... Baron. Baron. Thank you, Baron. May I go? I would encourage it, yes. Thank you. He stands up and looks at all of you. Thank you all very much for your help. I'm going to go.
Baron, forgive me for speaking out. Perhaps these are all good villagers and townsfolk, especially Caleb. Perhaps you could do some type of monthly celebration or commemoration where those that are affected are taken somewhere so they can be chained for the night. But think of all the people that would come as a tourist attraction and bring money to your village. Turn it into a positive thing, not a bad punishment.
You mean like a circus?
Not necessarily. I wasn't necessarily thinking like a circus, but some type of thing where you would have people that might do a pilgrimage here once a month just to meet and speak with these magnificent villagers, and then the villagers would be taken away, and then the next morning they could meet with them again. Might bring money.
Like a festival.
Yes.
In addition, they could also help serve and bolster any guards at night. Reduce crime, make everything even more safe.
Stylax persuasion at advantage.
Oh, man. Why am I not my Saturday character? Okay. I try to be quiet.
No, like, this is the best.
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I love when the people not proficient in things try it.
Okay, here we go. Oh, you said at advantage, so we'll do it.
Yeah, you're being helped by your allies.
17.
Hey!
We like 17. There is merit in what you are stating, and that will allow me to make a swifter decision. Caleb, stay nearby. Stay for lunch and dinner as well. There's merit in his words, and I'd rather learn more before I make my statement. I'm not going to be a noble over this place and just be tyrannical and order the execution of everybody. That would be preposterous. Thank you so much, sir. Duke. Duke, yes. Wait, I'm not a duke, I'm a baron.
No,
Caleb looks over at you, Duke, and just... God damn it.
Yes.
This is not a political campaign. It's great.
Right. You said you needed... there was something you needed us to help with?
What?
You said quid pro quo earlier.
Oh, yes.
Right.
You need money. I need a bride.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. I was confused. Maybe there was something else you had in mind, also in addition to that whole thing. But okay.
Well, I don't know. How's your eye for interior decoration?
I don't quite remember. No, it's I would say it's quite decent, I suppose. You have good mahogany here.
Thank you. Yes, you can identify the wood.
Well, I am trained in a few things.
Oh, it's wonderful to have hobbies, isn't it?
Right.
I know how to play the lyre.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Might we hear some of your esteemed playing?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't perform in front of others. It's mostly just for myself, you know. My first wife, she actually demanded that I play something for her on our wedding night since she had other intentions for that evening. I mean, eventually I'll sire an heir, but you know what? Right now, I'm more concerned about getting more castles.
Right. One can never have too many castles.
That's what I'm saying. And if my culture allows me to have as many wives as I want, I mean, why wouldn't I?
Sure.
Get more castles.
Yes. Right. Well, is there anything else you require of us for right now?
No.
Okay, well, if you would be so kind, I would like to retire for the day while I think of your proposal.
Oh, absolutely. Marcelon, be sure to show them to their rooms. Make sure Adeline, right there, Miss Devois, gets the utmost quality of treatment as well, okay? Make sure the entire staff is at their disposal for whatever they require.
Baron,
Yes.
one more thing.
Yes, of course.
Amongst your villagers, there's a young girl, Lila May. She was the granddaughter of the pastor. She is an amazing and up-and-coming herbalist, just like Mira, another villager. Not to tell you what to do, but perhaps you should see if there are ways that you can help them. I'm sure they would help the village extremely well. I just thought you should know of the amazing talent you have in your village.
Oh no, Wait. Is she your niece then, Caleb? That's a whole can of worms. She's possibly my daughter. Possibly. Tell me more. Oh. Well, you see, me and her mom were having relations, and of course, when I was being transformed, it was because she and I got caught, and she was already previously married. So my father decided that he was going to transform me into a lycanthrope by biting me and her in the same evening. Oh, how devious. Continue. Well, of course, I transformed into a wolf instead of a rat. Ooh, an elegant and strong creature. Thank you. So I ended up becoming too strong, and he tried killing me, stopping me. Luckily, however, I shouldn't say luckily. Unfortunately, she had defended me with her life and perished. At least I believe she had perished, and I didn't see it myself, but I'm fairly certain. And she already had Lila May by then. It's just, you know, she and I were having relations for a long time, so it's very, very likely myself. As far as I know, her mother and her mother's husband were not very active in their nightly agendas. Oh, I know all about that. Right. So, she might be, but she doesn't know, and I'm more than happy to care for the girl, but I just, you know, not quite sure what to do. Oh, this is going to be a lovely bard's tale one day. Okay, you are going to take full responsibility for the girl, right? I expect you to pay for her schooling. You're going to have to work full-time jobs in order to do so. And in all of that, Once a week, I want an update with excruciating details of what you've been going through. I mean, dealing with. And in exchange, me and the other Lakins are put on a probationary period. Of course, if any of them die, we have to dispose of them in the proper way. Of course, if any of them kill someone, we gotta behead them. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. Yes, if any of them kill somebody, we gotta behead them. Glad you understand. All right. I must say, Baron, you are far more kind than people let on. What are people saying? Nothing?
So close, man. You're so close.
Right. You know I'll find out. I know. Good.
Baron, would you like to see his form?
Well, it's not nighttime.
I'm sure
Does
we
it
can...
have to be night?
Yes, you
Yes.
said so earlier.
He did say that, yeah.
Maybe we could arrange for that later. Maybe.
Such a drama.
I would like to have a bit of a word with my companions in private, if you want. If you would.
Oh, yes, of course. Mikasa Sukasa.
Right. Thank you.
And he stands up and walks about halfway out of the room with Kat before placing them down and then leaving.
Bye. I miss you already.
Is there a
It was
place
so
nearby where we could talk? Like, be sure that we're private.
There's a closet right behind you, like a servant's closet.
Yeah, but I was like.
Castles aren't known for privacy.
Yeah.
But not the main hall, at least. But
Oh,
there
yeah,
could
yeah,
be,
yeah.
like,
I mean, you can
room
go.
or someplace.
Would you like to ask one of the servants? He
Yeah.
just gave you this room. He just.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, he left. He's in a different wing. It's a
Right.
castle.
Yeah, but like so that it's just us and not any servants or any guards. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh. Hey, you guards, can you guys leave so we can talk? Yes, of course. And they all leave, and the servants leave as well.
Just have to ask.
He said he was going to give us every accommodation, and I did not know you were. No, I'm so sorry. Do I need to be more formal with you?
It's fine, Caleb. If you wouldn't mind leaving as well.
Oh, I'm not a part of this conversation.
No.
Oh,
Sorry.
all right.
Look,
Yeah. No, it's no problem. I get it. Yep. Oh,
Just think of the ways you can show off your muscular wolf form to impress the Baron.
Wait, what? And then the servant closes the door.
So, once I'm certain that no one else is within earshot, I'll look around you guys and just. So I have a bit of an idea that might be considered sinister, I suppose.
Miss Ada,
What?
are you sure you want to share this idea with us? Maybe just give us pieces of it?
Well, I mean, I don't want to. I suppose I could facilitate and go through with this idea without you guys being directly involved, if that is what you prefer. But it might have a better chance of succeeding if we're all aware of what I'm thinking. It's up to
Tell me
you.
what to do.
Well, I am happy to share every detail with you as Stylax, of course. And for the rest of you, I am also happy to share it, provided you, of course, don't go about tattletaling or, you know. What's it called? It's something like that.
Tall tales.
Right.
I mean, it does
Tadflin
seem...
talons.
Well, it was thanks to your nobility that did get us out of the situation, and into the Baron's lovely estate as well. I don't see any reason why to go and betray you, just as you wouldn't betray us, right?
Right. No, I would not. So, and Duke.
Oh yes, sorry. I was waiting for you all to finish, but I do believe that this group has not led us astray in our goals in finding this hooded figure. So, whatever you believe is the best course of action, you have my following as well.
Right. Well, it's not pertaining necessarily directly only to that, but like there is a way we could enrich ourselves a bit in this situation. Okay, so here is the idea. If I were to go through with this marriage with the Baron, he said he would give me a castle, and sure, that would be very fine, of course.
And money. Keep in mind.
And money. And but I'm also thinking that maybe he is not quite so deserving a leader as to have. Well, we could take care of him as well and have 2 castles.
I don't believe that's a wise idea, to be honest.
Well, you haven't heard the whole outline of what the plan would be. So, I am thinking maybe we arrange for a bit of an accident with Caleb, so that well, there are herbs that could, I think at least, that might be able to force a change, similar to what a werewolf would experience during a full moon. And perhaps if the Baron is unfortunately bit by a werewolf, well, the locals would have no choice but to take care of that. And we could be hailed as heroes for saving the country, or the region, from an epidemic of lycanthropy.
Yeah, but it could go that Caleb offs the Baron, then the gods kill Caleb, then what?
Well, the idea is that if both of them died, that's just get better for us. But we will have to ensure it's after I marry him, of course.
Okay.
If I may, I do believe that there was going to have to be a maneuvering of the silver tongue in this plan, because it is quite suspicious that a group would come in here with the news of a lycanthropy contraction, and then for the king to the Baron to all of a sudden contract this disease as well. We would have to be able to make it to the public so that they're aware of that. We had no involvement in that.
Yes, well, that's where the steward comes in, because he is now aware of these lycanthropes, and if we tell him that they are unable to be controlled, then especially after he bites the Baron, they will have, the guards and the steward, they will probably be in charge, but as I am the Baron's wife, I would also have some authority.
But you would be his 4th wife, not the 1st, and the 1st, I think, has the most.
Sure, but I would also be the only wife at hand, as it were.
I don't think you should. I think you should give Caleb the chance for him and the others to try and make their own life. And doing this is just going to force them back out into the wild on their own.
Well,
but
I see what you mean, and like I said, it could be considered a nefarious, even evil plan, maybe.
Quite so. Also, it's oddly suspicious that you're pardoned and then immediately the Baron and everyone would be dead. It's too quick.
Right, yes, I agree. Which is
Oh.
why I'm not saying we do this like immediately or anything. It's just an idea still. If
Also,
you
you do-
guys are so pragmatic that you might be inclined to go ahead with such a plan.
Also, you do know that, like you said, it is only purely political, and he doesn't have an eye for women, right?
Right.
He was clearly eyeing up Stylax, Duke, and Caleb.
Yes, I noticed. Your point being?
Instead of doing that, why not try to get the Baron and Caleb into a attempt to push them together, and then during one night of passion, then the Baron gets bit. It's more believable that way.
Yes, I like where you're. I like your idea. This is yeah. I had not considered that.
You would have to force him because of his willpower of not biting, because he's had passion before without biting. So it would have to be something intoxicating, so much wine or drugs.
Yeah, well, I'm certain there are some herbs or something that could facilitate such a transformation.
Yes, not to mention it'd be a lot easier if they've been in a relationship for a while.
Do you want to marry him?
No. But I don't mind having his money and a couple castles.
So you do want to marry him?
No, but I'm saying I will, despite not wanting
Okay.
to.
Okay.
Provided we are able to make it be prosperous, fortuitous for us. Myself.
Does Starlight have a ring on his fingers at all?
Nope.
Okay, just making sure of them two being hitched or something, because like...
I don't know much about like the signet ring stuff, but is there one style that signifies if you're married, betrothed, or yet to be betrothed? Like, do the styles change?
Well, you have signet ring, which is it's a symbol of your noble status, and also used for sealing letters, of course. But a ring of engagement is different. It's usually more, just ornamental.
Okay, I didn't know if perhaps signet rings were altered when that happens.
I suppose they could be, but they are meant to serve a function as well as a symbol of station.
Also, not to mention, if you do marry, you'd be part of his extended family, so then you'd have allies wherever they are.
Sure. Well, I will say I did not specifically like so much the sound of adopting his family name in addition to mine. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily care so much, but
could you not forge it later?
well, yes, I'm sure something could be arranged for that.
Well, how much do you want his money?
Well, it would come in handy, right? The thing is, it's if I were to marry him and go through with this, it would still take a while before it would all be fully registered. I suppose I mean, there has to be some sort of central library, maybe, or a place where such things are kept track of. Noble weddings, So if he were to endow me with all the authority and everything I got as his wife, then that would, if I could get access to that before it is registered, and we could maybe interrupt the registration of the wedding, then that would be nice.
Is that how it works in your land or this land?
Well, I am not so familiar with the Bakloonish culture for it, so I can't be sure. And I am not fully sure if I remember everything also about my own culture, but I think I have a fairly certain grasp on it.
How much power does this Baron have, like, land-wise? Do you know?
Yes, but well, a baron is it's the lowest end of nobility, sort of. Well, you have knights and squires that are technically below, but of landowning lords, and a baron is the lowest noble title.
Okay, but that didn't answer the question of how much land he has. Like,
Well,
if
I
he
don't know.
owns this big part of the place, then it would be beneficial because he said you would gain the similar to his title, right? So
And,
that means you could go to other. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, so I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's also I need to look into what their culture and traditions for marriage is. But like, if I am married to him and he dies, and that means that there is a tradition for his brother suddenly being my husband, then I would be happy with that.
Hey, apparently there might be a culture where the wife is married with the husband.
I have not
Yes.
thought this in depth about it, but I'm beginning to. What type of culture is Bakloonish for marriage and nobility?
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing that's interesting with Greyhawk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like nobility and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just open. It's fun.
Yeah. So, well, I suppose he could be buried with one or two or three of his wives.
I mean,
Never catch
if
the
that's
fourth.
what you wish to do, just understand, I do not mind if we had to meet your other wives of law?
The wyverns.
I don't know what you call your other wives. And if they somehow have accidents as well, that's
Yeah.
another castle.
Yes, you are catching on.
Okay, I like this.
Y'all
I
are
like
some
this a
greedy
lot.
fuckers. I said, here's a free castle. And you went, how many castles?
We're playing Monopoly here. How many hotels is it?
This is chess. This ain't checkers.
Yeah, apparently. Damn. I'm still playing fucking Trap the Mouse game. Mousetrap.
Well, by the sounds of it, I don't think he'll mind if you find another down the line. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Well, sure. That's true. He probably wouldn't, but there is the practical, or rather impractical aspect of me being technically married to him, which would be not good for my own culture when I hopefully return there.
I mean, heck, for all you know, you might be allowed to have multiple spouses in your culture.
But-
I know it. I know it that well. That's well.
But Adeline, you have to do this because you was either forced or persuaded, and you needed this for your survival. What would be better? Your family think you're dead, or you using whatever means to survive to get back home?
Well, you're presenting two options, and there are several more options.
Of course. I'm just saying that the persuasions of how you come to be married doesn't have to be you wanting to. It could be you had to for your own see, this word I can't pronounce because vocal cords.
Perverse?
It's
Preservation.
Yes, thank you, Damson.
Of course, cat.
Ah, right.
That word fucks me up often.
It's a matter of your own survival, and you wish to ensure that should something have happened to the rest of your family, that your name did not die out, and you sought protections in a foreign land. Especially with some mage hunting after you, it only makes logical sense, and upon the crisis being resolved, if needed, then a solution can be looked for.
I suppose it could be arranged to have some sort of. I mean, marriages have been annulled for various reasons. Could be that if it's done under duress, or we could say that he forced himself to marry me.
Mm.
There
I
could be
think it's
many
more
reasons.
That'll be
the one best for you would be crisis of survival, not knowing anything.
Who, me?
Sure, but that would not, I think, constitute enough of a reason to annul the marriage. Because
Wait. Why would you need to annul it? Because
I don't want to keep his family name.
yeah, but the better plan would you do it, we travel to the other wives, slowly go for them, because then that gives the Baron and Caleb some time to get to know each other. And you're not there, so you can't be blamed for it because you're somewhere else. So when it finally does happen, because it's going to happen, you cannot be blamed. You're still a wife, and the other wives are gone. Now you're the lord, and your family owns their land as well because it's you.
And if
Also-
everything goes badly, I'll just say it was the evil talking cat.
Yeah, that's fine.
No one will ever
Also-
believe that.
Also, you do have a way to annul the marriage, Ada. Not doing his husbandly duties and siring an heir.
Oh,
I have no intention of ever doing that.
Exactly. You say that you caught him sleeping with the local
A man?
and that clearly he has no intentions to sire you an heir. Thus, annulled.
And before all the other wives are planning the same thing.
I swear this was in Desperate Housewives once.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
Play D&D.
It's called Desperate for Castles.
Castle Crashers.
Great game, by the way.
and
Tu casa,
besides,
mi casa.
if you wanted to get friendly with the other wives, you could all get your lands and split.
I'm certain, being that they are also have gone through with the marriage, they are probably also of a very pragmatic nature, I would say. Maybe
should-
not all of them.
You should ask him about his other wives, just to know what you're getting into, since they'll be related to you as well.
Sure, yes. Right. Well, it's enough plotting for now. We've at least established that there is an idea, and it seems to me that you're all on board with potentially going through with it, if we find a good way of solving the.
I do believe that we should invite Caleb back as soon as possible. He seemed a little hurt that he wasn't included in this conversation.
All right. Yes. Fair enough.
He doesn't need to know about this conversation.
The less he knows, the better for his own conscience.
Exactly. Yes. Especially when we are forcing him to bite the Baron, so we can kill both of them.
No.
That is the end point of at least one step of the plan.
You're giving this
Eventually.
man the most tragic of backstories. I can't wait for him to turn into a BBEG.
Hey,
You know what?
it's
You know what?
boxing, you know?
It would be justified. It would be
Yeah,
justified.
yeah.
Hey, but he's not our BB. He's another campaign's problem.
Do you want a BBEG? This is how you get BBEGs.
I just wanted to live my life.
So, are you guys going to invite Caleb back in?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Dook, 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 dook. You guys go outside and you see him just like sitting on the stairs. Oh, hi. Yeah, hey, nice conversation, everyone?
Yes, we were just discussing things going forward and the proposal that the Baron had towards Ada. Trying to figure out what to do because marriage is a big commitment.
I mean, is it? By the sounds of it, that was the most casual conversation I ever heard.
It's different, I think, for nobility, and that's the thing.
I don't know. I think you just walked into the luckiest situation anybody's ever walked into. I mean, not for nothing, but I noticed his eyes lingered around areas more than once.
That's what I was saying.
So, like, your situation, I mean, oh no, you have to take a title and you get a castle out of it? Who? Damn.
I mean,
That is,
could be
that's lucky.
maybe it's a haunted castle. Who knows? You know?
After spending one evening with all of y'all, I think I'd feel worse for the ghost.
Thanks.
I mean, he did see you guys kick his father's ass. Well, didn't see, but like...
I mean,
Oh, you weren't there for it, Ilporn. It was bad. Like, he crit Cat twice. Or one of the NPCs did. But he didn't hit Stylax once. Just
No. I was crit twice by the pastor. He's like, wow. I was like,
was that with a bite?
yes, but I wasn't infected.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Cat's immune.
Yeah, it's not a werecat.
Not yet.
They're just tabaxis.
Listen, you don't understand. It's when cat because I'm here when I'm here now.
But that's the best cover identity for a werecat. Just call yourself a tabaxi and you're suddenly
Honestly.
So, you hear knocking at the door, and the Baron peeps his head in. May I come back? I mean,
yes, of
it is
course,
my
yes.
own home, but you know.
Right. Yes. No. It's just we
Here,
haven't
cat.
had.
Yeah, cat bamps into his lap.
You teleported. You're a mage.
In a way, I am magically innate.
Oh, like an elf. Very well.
Yes.
Roll me a deception check on that.
It's a magical talking cat, not a mundane talking cat.
I'm gonna say advantage on that because of fucking with his head there.
Makes you think, wait, there's normal cats that can speak, and there's magic cats that can speak?
Whatever. By the way, I've already instructed them. We are going to have a lovely feast, with as many of accommodations as we can from your homeland as possible, Adeline, sorry.
Adeline. Yes.
Adeline.
Exactly.
Hopefully soon I'll call you my wife.
Yes, we will see. Till death do us part and all that, you know.
Oh, I
Emphasizing death.
I don't want to
I
think about
get
what
you.
happens to you if I die.
What would happen if you died?
Well, right now, nothing. I mean, it would be unfortunate, but
Right, but after if we get married, I mean.
Oh, and I died?
Yes.
It would be up to my first wife to find you a new husband.
Oh.
Yes.
Or actually, what?
Well, all
what
four
can
of you would
tell
have
us-
the same husband.
Oh.
But
right.
I don't want to subject you to that. That's just ew.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
Yes.
But what can
She
you
has
tell us
horrible
about your-
tastes.
What can you tell us about your your other wives? In
Oh.
order.
Well, the first one's name is Jaden. She's a very lovely olive-skinned girl. She always paints her nails black as well, which is very cool. She was during my bit of a rebellious phase. And honestly, she was noble because her tribe discerns something about her being a spiritual leader or something. So that gave her the ability to be betrothed to me, which was perfect timing because that castle just went on the market and I really wanted it. So we got married, and then she was expecting me to give her a child, and I don't think she understood what I was alluding to, because I more or less approached her the same way I'm approaching you. Well, back then I was a bit more rugged, let's say. Or as Kat may say, less symmetrical. But yes. But
So
yes.
she's a spiritual leader, you said?
She was for her village, but I made sure that castle was as far away from her village as possible.
Right, but she's not like a witch or something, huh?
No, she has like these like clerical thingies that she does. Like, one time I was gardening, right? And the shears just slipped my finger all the way across, and she was able to mend that up just by touching it.
Oh. Right,
It was
that's very
amazing.
right. It's cheating though. I prefer natural remedies, you know.
Oh, okay.
I'm a bit of a healer myself.
Really? Can I see? And he flicks out a knife.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's going to hurt though.
Yes, of course. Who volunteers?
Cat volunteers. Do it to me!
No. I would actually feel remorseful if you got harmed.
One wants to see animals get hurt.
Of course.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Caleb, how about you? Oh, okay, so
I can always rely on you, can't I, Stylex?
And I will hold out my arm and just stare at the Baron while Miss Ada
Okay.
does her thing.
He has a
Alright, so
-2 to this.
So before I do this cut, or so okay.
Yeah, I thought Ada was gonna do the cut, but he.
Oh
can-
no, he's trying. He's just not. He's
Oh.
he's like trying to
Uh,
saw into your arm with a
Well,
little knife.
wait,
and
just
press
wait a
that.
little bit, my Baron, my Lord. I mean, if I would like to prepare first the ointment and the cream that I apply for wounds.
Oh yes, of course. I was just sharpening the blade.
All right. So it's it's a very important thing to take care of, you know. So this ointment is made from a series of herbs. There are many such herbs, but these ones are mine.
Yes. That's an
And,
inspiration for that one. That was a great transition. Very fluid. That was good.
Thanks. So once the cut is made, it will of course bleed for a little bit, but the ointment will actually enhance and promote the body's natural healing in a very quickly, efficient manner. So it's not magic at all. It's just natural healing, just enhanced through nature.
So the plant is magical.
No, they are not magical. They are. They have properties, you know. Such as
Magical
think of like-
properties?
well, think of like a stone. You know, a typical stone is hard, and you can hit someone with the head, and it will hurt. But
Yes.
some stones are more porous
Fetch me a stone.
and can easily break. And these are just different properties of those kinds of stone. So, like, in that way, certain plants have different properties as well.
Oh, very
Right, but anyway.
curious.
So, are you ready, Starlax? Stab.
All right, and Ada has proficiency with the dagger. Can stab you if you're not trying to dodge.
Yep. I don't try to dodge. I just stare the Baron in the eye as she sinks her blade.
The Baron could not stab. Like,
I'll make it seem like I'm not super, like I'm not actually trying to kill him or anything.
ooh, then give me an attack roll for that one. More or less, don't roll below a 10 total.
Yeah. 22.
Oh, I saw the second one that came up. I was like, that's the damage, okay?
Yeah.
You cut him with an acute precision. No, you know, kind of like, stab, oh no. Then he watches very close. Oh, blood. Ew.
Yes.
Whew.
So, it has to bleed just a little bit first, so the body can start reacting, and then you can apply the healing.
Oh. And as you apply the ointment, he just watches it as it does like the natural healing salve and filling the wound. Well, that was nearly as quick as hers.
And yes, I always think it's magical healing and that kind of thing. It's like cheating. It doesn't require any expertise. You don't have to like do anything specific. You just ask the gods to fix it, and they do it for you.
Might I ask, Baron,
yes.
what of your other two wives?
Oh, so the next ones are actually phenomenal. Shaniqua is the next one's name. She is an absolute darling, honestly. I met her. We immediately hit it off. It was the first time I was almost lured by a woman. But it was such an amazing connection that we had with one another. But you all seem fairly trustworthy. She had gained a noble title, thanks to her predicament, but she used to work at she used to work for a living.
Oh, that's horrible.
I know. Then she had all these other co-workers, Monique, Christina, Naranda, so many of them. And she decided to let all of them move in with her as well, which, you know what, she needs company. I fully understand it. Even once in a while, she gets herself a consort to go out there. Of course, discretion is still needed for it, but if you're worried about that, Adeline, I would not worry about that at all. If you want a consort, you're more than welcome to one. I don't mind.
Thank you.
Yes. And then the last one that we had. Oh. Unfortunately, Alexandra was, she was stuck in a bit of a predicament. You see, I have an older brother, and he was infatuated with her, and she was not having any types of feelings towards him. And, of course, he wanted to marry her so that he could buy another home, and she didn't want to marry him at all. So, of course, she approached to me and tried to seduce me. Oh, the young lady. That was stupid. But I heard her stories and pleas, so I decided to do the gentlemanly thing and marry her and buy that estate before my brother could.
So, are you saying you don't have such a good relationship with your brother then? Or?
A competitive one, you know?
Right.
He's upset at me because I have more wives. I'm upset at him because he has greater riches.
How large is your family, by the way?
Oh, I have 13 brothers, 6 sisters, and 9 mothers.
My head just went to what is it called? Shadow of War. The general section is like just like.
But I'm the second oldest.
Ah.
Ah.
Thank you. Yes.
We were just trying to figure everything out, especially for Adelina. Like, well, your family, to be honest. I think we don't know much.
Would
or
you
at least
like
I
to
don't.
meet them?
Well, they're here.
No.
Well, it would be difficult right now, but yeah, as I said, I still need some time to think, you know. And
Yes. I'm in no rush. I'm sorry if the conversation made it seem that way. I'm just entertaining guests.
you're right, of course, and no offense taken.
Yes, we're just, trying to figure out of like where everyone is in case we end up running across one another of where the niceties need to be.
Of course.
We would hate to insult one of your family members on accident.
Yes, you best not do that. Not all of them are as kind-hearted as I am.
Of course. Where is all of your family, by the way? Like your familial holdings, if I might ask.
Oh, well, my family is littered all across the Baklunish West. I mean, in the Bramble Woods, it's only me and my elder brother, as we've been expanding down here. We have holdings around EXANDRIA, Ipdel. We have places over by Halife, Dimelash. We have... Well, our main holdings are outside Yern.
I see.
My father is quite well connected with all the other nobles of the land. Of course, me being the second-born son, I am only a baron, but honestly, I like this position of authority. I mean, I have obligations to my people, yes, but I don't have the same level of engagement that is necessary for, say, a high lord or, something.
Oh, what position does your father hold?
Oh, him?
Yes.
He is considered a bishop of a church, so he has its own rules. Pay law.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
Yes. Which coincidentally is the same church in this town. I think a lot of people like pay law.
yes, and honestly, that might get you some good graces from your father by helping cleanse the church of potential corruption.
I
That-
don't
Bragging
think
rights
I-
over your brother?
That might get him off my back about siring an heir. Good call.
Is it? How often do you have contact with your family?
Oh, well, I write letters to my many mothers. At least once every couple weeks.
Do you have a favorite mother?
Of course not. I love all of them, mostly equally.
Do you know which one gave birth to you?
Yes, Mama Chalamet.
Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I love it.
Nobles. So,
all right.
take all the time that is needed for you. I assume when you get to EXANDRIA, you're going to check out the estate, maybe, and if that makes you a bit more motivated, I'd be more than happy to accommodate.
That would be interesting. Nice to see, at least.
Yes, of course. Check it out. You're more than welcome to.
Right.
you have to be fully married to own an additional castle, or can it only be a betrothal?
You have to be officially married. Yes.
Who marries you?
Oh, just some cleric of the Church of Palor or something.
So you could. Does it have to be a wife?
Unfortunately, for the purposes of home ownership and estates, for nobles to continue gathering up more of them, it does have to be a wife. You see, a long time ago, there was this issue where men were marrying men, and they were doing that to become larger forms of nobles and renting out their homes to everyone else, creating like global conglomerates. Thank you. Words are hard sometimes.
Words.
I figured it was in game.
No, that was me.
All right.
So they wrote in the new law that for us, we can only ever marry women.
But what is what would happen if one of your wives die? Would you not be allowed to own that castle anymore then? Or
Oh, I would be given a grieving period of 1 year before I have to remarry to have them tend to the estate. There was another man who ended up murdering many of his wives just to gather land. I know.
there's some horrible people out there.
There are. Oh. Conspirators.
What happens in the case of a divorce?
Those don't happen.
Is it just not written in, or is it just...
Till death do thus part. Now, luckily, over 100 years ago, we did write in that you no longer have to be buried with your husband if he dies before you.
Did that happen to all the wives then at that point, or?
Just the most recent one.
Oh, okay.
But we did away with that law. Thank goodness. I mean, it's so tragic having so many women die because the man refused to watch their cholesterol.
Sure, yes.
I mean, you'd be surprised how many people in my family die of heart attacks.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Ada's just like thinking.
So many options. Fried eggs every morning.
Good thing I'm a doctor, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, bacon is very healthy for you. Here.
Yes, yes.
Just...
You should also
Actually-
brush your teeth with it.
Yeah. But anyways,
How?
yes?
I wanted to know. How do you feel after learning of all of this?
What you mean about the lycanthropes? Or the
Yes.
amnesia?
The lycanthropes first, because I really would love to know your mind.
Oh, well, you see, my walls are very big, and my guards are paid incredibly well. Most of them are retired adventurers. So, like, the lycanthrope thing was very intriguing to me. But I didn't feel any agency surrounding it, if that's what you're asking. And for all of you losing your minds to a mage, now that begins to become much more dangerous, and I was authentically worried. I mean, if there's a madman out there just defiling people's minds, that's horrible. Ugh.
Yeah, what if you forget you were married to someone?
I would forget about a home.
You would forget about a home.
Yes, that would be terrible.
I know. And I like to go to each of them in different seasons so far, just to, break it up, have a little bit of, like, diversity. And whenever I travel to a new one, usually the other wife leaves and goes over to the previous one, so it's fine. But by no means do you have to relocate, by the way, Adeline. If you really like that one, you can just stay there when I come and visit, and we'll just, have different wings.
Sure. I suppose that could work out. Well, I should let you know, of course, that
I do plan, or hope to at least, at some point returning to my homeland.
Oh, that's wonderful. Of course, after the plague is done with, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Have you heard any news from that region in regards to the plague and all of that? Actually,
Last I heard, it was under 100% quarantine by paladins. Nobody in or out.
Oh.
yes. Oh,
And they're under unfortunate strict orders that if somebody gets within 1,000 feet of the border of their patrol, that they must unleash ballistas to stop them from getting too close and spreading the disease.
Oh. That
Paladins
is,
of who?
Well, all the churches band together.
That bad?
Yes, it is one that the paladins themselves are able to suppress, but apparently nobody else has been capable of handling it with any amount of contact. Very, very, very sad. We can only imagine what's happening within its borders.
yes. I would like to know if my family is safe.
If you would like, I can send a messenger hawk.
That would be very nice, actually. As I said, I would like to write them a letter.
Sure, construct a letter, and I will make sure we send out a hawk, and we'll just have to find a volunteer to read the letter from 1,000 feet away.
Oh, so you can't sacrifice the hawk?
Well, I mean, who's going to read the letter?
Okay.
I'm not touching it. We don't know how the disease spreads.
Yes, for the
the reply.
of course. Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Well, sure. Yes, we could.
Very good.
Yeah, maybe we could find a paladin or something to help.
Well, I'll tell you what. You devise your letter, save it with me. If you find a paladin on your travels that is willing to have the letter brought to them, we can get the hawk to go back to them instead. Fair?
Fair enough.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Then just write to me and let me know when that is, and write your letter prematurely, and I'll pay for the hawk. It's very expensive, and I know you're hurting for funds.
Right. How much is it to send a hawk such a distance?
Around 80, 90 gold? 80 or 90?
That's
Well, you need specially trained hawks that can fly that far.
yes, of course, and that they are also able to find the way, of course.
Yes.
It's quite interesting, how birds can be so smart.
Birds always find their ways home. It's a beautiful thing, honestly.
Whereas cats, for example, tend to get lost all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about. This cat has found their home, haven't you?
Sure.
Meow.
Neither confirm nor deny.
And guys, I think this is a good stopping point for the session. We come back in 2 weeks, and I guess you guys get to deliberate on murder. But hey, you were pardoned at least, so yay! All right, we'll see.
Level up.
Got him.